My name is Daryl, D-A-R-R-Y-L-E-I-C-H-L-E-R, and I've been diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, cancer of the liver, cancer of the kidneys.
Eichler is one of hundreds in the city of Kalamazoo who are currently experiencing homelessness. For the past week, he's been living in a tent on a piece of land owned by a local shelter. He says that it wasn't his choice to be there.
That's how I became homeless, because I was in the hospital for 6 months and lost my job, and they put a boot on my door, and the landlord said if I give him $4,800, I could get back in, but I no longer had a job.
Eichler isn't the only person struggling. In mid-August, a group of individuals who are homeless set up tents in Kalamazoo's Bronson Park.
Just want to feel safe. Kind of want to feel normal. See, we all feel normal here with each other because we know each other.
Scott is one of around 60 people taking part in what he says is a peaceful protest. The goal? To bring awareness to issues surrounding the homeless population.
A couple weeks ago, the city tried to pass some ordinances that criminalize homelessness here in the city. We were successful in the fact that they did not pass those ordinances. And then we realized that there's a bigger problem in our county, in our city, and we're advocating for the homeless community as a whole.
They said it was against city ordinance to pop up a tent in the city limits, but yet they don't put any limit anywhere close enough for you to get shelter, food, water, bathroom, things of that nature.
If not Arcadia, what's the next step from here? What is it that folks want next?
Protesters had been trying to negotiate with Kalamazoo city officials since they started staying at the park. It hasn't been easy.
We were discussing an option that the city had given to us about moving to a different location instead of being in the park. During the meeting, we pretty much came to a unanimous decision that we are staying put. We're also protesting against the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, which has been blatantly not helping, or there's issues with the way staff has been treating the homeless population that goes through their doors.
I was staying at the homeless shelter, the Gospel Mission, and it was horrible. They've got 150 plus men laying on the ground with prisoner mats who don't all stay sanitary.
The Kalamazoo Gospel Mission is an organization that runs a men and women's shelter in the city. Pastor Micheal Brown says that he isn't fazed by the criticism.
I've heard some of the comments that they have to say, and when the comments come up, I say, that's not true.
They stay down behind that door. They have a couple rooms and bunk beds back there.
Jalissa Martin has been staying at the mission with her 1-year-old son since the end of June. She says that, while she's grateful for what the mission is doing, there is still room for improvement.
It's not as clean as I would want it to be.
So what do you?
I can't put my son down to crawl, and he's just now crawling, starting to walk and everything. I can't put him down to crawl, let him start walking or none of that. So it's irritating, and a lot of women have little babies, have to keep their kids in the strollers because the floor is so nasty.
When asked about the conditions in the shelter, Pastor Brown says that they're working on new improvements. He also adds that there is only so much they can do with a small amount of space.
Anybody can stay at the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission. Where we run into problems at is where people come because of the numbers of homeless that we have and the available space. Then we quickly run out of bed space, and so then we'll have mats, and people don't want to sleep on a mat, so they'll say, well, they wouldn't let me stay at the Gospel Mission. No, we let you stay where we had space.
Pastor Brown offered to show us the piece of land the mission provided for those in the Bronson Park encampment. This is where Eichler is living, and he has his own opinions on the mission.
I stayed in the mission. The only thing that they gave me there at the mission was a goddamn old, thin, mat. That's how I got the cough. It wouldn't give me a pillow, wouldn't give me...
Not everyone agrees with Eichler.
This area right here is awesome. Awesome. The Gospel Mission and the pastor and everyone there, they really, really do a lot for people.
Back in Bronson Park, protesters express their frustrations and hopes for the future.
I feel like people are kind of like pushing us to the side, like, you guys are homeless. You got in this situation, so we're going to leave you there. We don't deserve to be here. These kids don't deserve to be here.
Nobody around here wants to be out here getting food given to them. Everybody wants that normal life where you work for what you got. Everything you want to get, you pay for, your house, your rent, electric. Everybody wants that.
I feel like finally some voice has been put out there and we're being heard, and some things are actually being said that mean something to us as the people.
It's now early October. The tent city disappeared almost overnight as city officials made their final decision. Protesters could no longer stay in the park. City manager Jin Retsima said that the camp grew too large to remain sanitary. 14 remaining protesters were arrested, including County Commissioner Shannon Sykes, who had joined the protest a few weeks in. Reporting for West Side Stories in Kalamazoo, I'm Linnea Martinez.